Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping straight into the recent Formula One Belgian Grand Prix sprint race. We've got a whole load of updates, insights, fresh from SPA-FRANCORCHAMPS, all pulled together for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And our mission today really is to unpack what happened, the key moments, the strategy calls, and, the bigger picture stuff from this sprint. We want to help you get beyond just the results, understand why things happened, and what it all means for the rest of the season.
For sure. We'll definitely be digging into how Max Verstappen managed another sprint win. I mean, starting second isn't easy there, so what does that tell us about his current form and, well, the Red Bull car, too?
Exactly. And crucially, the McLaren challenge.
Mm-hmm.
We need to look closely at their strategy, their
Yeah.
pace. Plus, those other performances. Williams looked interesting, didn't they? And then there's Aston Martin, still seemingly trying to figure things out. Lots to get into.
Okay, let's set the scene then. Rewind to Saturday, July 26, 2025, Spa. The atmosphere was, well, buzzing as usual. Pretty decent weather, too. About 21 Celsius air temp, track at 34. Crucially, no rain for the sprint itself.
Right, perfect conditions. And the big story before the start was Oscar Piastri. Championship leader puts it on pole for the sprint. And not just pole, he absolutely smashed the circuit record. A 1.4, 0.5 men zero. That put him, half a second clear of Max Verstappen, which is huge around Spa. A real statement lap.
Half a second. That's massive. And you have to remember the context, right? Piastri and her teammate LANDO Norris, only 8 points between them heading into the second half of the season. So every single point, especially in the sprint, was going to be vital. Huge pressure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the big question immediately became, could Piastri actually turn that incredible pole lap into the maximum 8 points? History was kind of on his side. 50% of sprint pole sitters had won this year. But, it's Max Verstappen alongside him. It felt like a real test of that McLaren momentum against the reigning champ.
And it wasn't just the front guys. We saw updates filtering through the grid. Ferrari brought some bits. Williams, like you said, seemed to have found something. Sainz sounded quite optimistic. Aston Martin, though, was interesting. New front wing, yes, but not the new floor they ran back at the British GP.
Yeah, that's a key detail. And it suggests they're still evaluating things, maybe splitting strategies, or perhaps that floor wasn't quite right for Spa's specific demands, high-speed, lower downforce compared to Silverstone. It's all about those fine margins and continuous development.
Yeah.
For Williams, finding pace there, that hints at maybe a genuine aerodynamic improvement. Good sign for them.
So the race itself, 15 laps planned, most cars lining up on the medium tires. But, a bit of drama before we even got going. Pierre Gasly, non-starter for Alpine, hydraulic leak, that's tough. And his teammate, Colapinto, also Alpine, had to start from the pits. Parc Fermé breach, not the start Alpine wanted.
No, definitely not. Double trouble before the lights even went out. Then the start itself. Piastri got away cleanly, held the inside line into turn one. La Source looked good. But Verstappen, behind him, just textbook positioning. Tucked right into the slipstream down the Camel Straight, pulls alongside, and made the move stick into Lescombes. Took the lead, just like that, lap one.
A classic Spa move, using that toe. And it wasn't just Max moving forward. Charles Leclerc also managed to jump Lando Norris in that opening shuffle, so the order changed pretty quickly at the front.
It really did.
Yeah.
And from that moment on, with Max leading, it became this strategic battle. Max himself called it playing cat and mouse with the DRS and the battery.
Yeah.
He said he basically had to drive beyond the limit for all 15 laps, like qualifying laps, just to keep the McLarens behind.
15 laps of qualifying effort. That shows the pressure he was under. It wasn't a comfortable cruise.
Not at all. And this is where, Red Bull's efficiency, especially with energy deployment, really comes into play. Max can use that power just when he needs it, defensively. It makes him incredibly hard to pass, especially on those long straights. And it led to what the drivers described afterwards, that train of DRS.
Ah, yes, the DRS train. Explain that a bit.
Well, basically, when you have several cars close together, the car in third gets DRS from the car in second. The car in second gets it from the leader. It kind of neutralizes the advantage for the car directly behind the leader because the car behind them also has DRS. So unless you have a really big pace advantage, making a move stick becomes incredibly difficult.
Right. Which seems to be exactly what happened. Piastri was glued to Verstappen's gearbox for a lot of the race. Looked like he tried to make a move around lap 11, maybe, but just couldn't quite get it done. He actually said afterwards he didn't have enough top speed to complete the pass. Reinforces that DRS train idea and maybe Red Bull's straight line speed.
Yeah, and Lando Norris, right behind Piastri, basically said the same thing. His quote was something like, "It's difficult to overtake Max. I wasn't going to pass anyone else unless Oscar passed Max." So he was stuck too. Shows how Max's defense, plus the car's speed, just locked down that P1.
So Verstappen holds on, takes the checkered flag. His 12th career sprint win. That's quite a tally.
Phenomenal record in these shorter races. He just knows how to manage them, even under intense pressure like today.
And Piastri, obviously a bit gutted not to convert pole, you'd think.
Sure, yeah, frustration was there. But he was also pretty pragmatic straight away. Said something like, it's only the sprint, the big points are tomorrow. Which is smart, right? Shows he's thinking championship, knows the main race is what really counts. Points-wise, good maturity.
Okay, let's look a bit further back. Carlos Sainz in the Williams. P6. That's a great result for them.
Really solid. 3 valuable points. Sainz sounded pretty positive about the car's feel. Said when things clicks, the pace is definitely there. But he also mentioned small errors, either from the team or drivers, suggesting they need that bit more consistency to really maximize the car's potential.
Yeah, he mentioned being quicker than Ocon at points, but just not being able to get past on the straights. Classic Spa problem again.
Exactly. And it raises that point about operations, doesn't it? You can have a quick car, but those small mistakes, that lack of perfect execution, can cost you points. Williams are showing flashes, definitely, but converting that potential consistently is the next big step for them.
And then the other end of the scale, maybe, Fernando Alonso in the Aston Martin. Finished down in 14th.
Yeah, tough one for them. Alonso's comment was quite blunt, not more.
Yeah.
And he said something telling. Q1 is our best session, which kind of suggests they have decent one-lap pace, maybe low fuel, but struggle over longer runs or when the track ramps up through qualifying. They seem to fade a bit.
So the race pace isn't matching that initial qualifying burst.
Seems that way. It suggests maybe the updates aren't quite delivering in race trim yet, or they have underlying issues with tire wear or performance in traffic. Being fast in Q1 is one thing, but maintaining it through Q2, Q3, and then a race distance is the real challenge. They still seem to be searching for that consistency.
So looking at the bigger picture then, this sprint, how does it set things up for the main Grand Prix?
Well, Verstappen's win obviously confirms his, and Red Bull's pace and racecraft, they're still the benchmark. But McLaren, even finishing P2 and P3, showed they are right there. A genuine threat. They push Max all the way. That's significant.
And it really underlined the nature of Spa, didn't it? Those long straights, the importance of top speed, how hard overtaking can be despite DRS.
Absolutely. That DRS train effect was so clear. It means track position is going to be absolutely crucial for the main race on Sunday. Qualifying well will be massively important.
And the data from this dry sprint must be gold for the teams, right?
Yeah.
Especially thinking about Sunday strategy.
Oh, huge. They now have real-world data on tire dig, car balance with fuel load, how their specific setups worked, all in dry conditions, which is forecast for Sunday too. They'll be crunching those numbers overnight, refining everything for the longer race distance, different tire strategies. It's invaluable information, especially for someone like SAINZ and Williams, confirming their pace in race conditions.
So for you listening, this deep dive really shows how even a short sprint race isn't just a quick dash. It reveals so much about the cars, the drivers, the strategies, and it definitely sets the stage for this crucial second half of the F1 season. Every detail matters.
Exactly. It's a reminder that these sprints, while maybe controversial for some, offer real insights. Strategic layers, performance indicators. The fight at the front is intense, but those midfield battles, like Williams getting points, are just as important for the championship picture overall.
Right, that just about wraps up our deep dive into the Belgian Grand Prix sprint. A Verstappen win, but maybe not as easy as some others. McLaren pushing hard. Williams looking up, Aston Martin looking for answers. A fascinating snapshot of the current pecking order on one of F1's most demanding tracks. Lots of strategy, lots of skill on display.
So here's something for you to think about before the main race. Given how hard overtaking looked in the sprint with that DRS train effect, just how much will Sunday's qualifying result dictate the final Grand Prix outcome? Is pole, or maybe the front row, almost everything at Spa this year?
An interesting question to ponder. Thanks for diving deep with us today. We hope this gives you a bit more context and understanding heading into the rest of the Spa weekend. Until next time, keep that curiosity revving.